I'm going to step back and look at all of the opportunities for testing. And there's three general categories of the types of pages and test opportunities. The top part of the funnel is your persuasional end. These are your landing pages. And this is where, Unbounce plays, of course. They manage landing pages and help you to build them quickly. But with landing pages, you've got to snag people on that page, keep them hooked on the page, and give them a quick value proposition and reason to stay there. But there's more than just landing pages as well. You've got interior pages, which are informational pages about your products and services. They may happen on your website. They may happen on other pages that you're hosting. And then there's the transactional end. These are your conversion pages, right? And this is where people have gathered enough information. Your prospects know that you've got the right solution, or they think you may be worth filling out a lead form to find out more. And that's where the real rubber hits the road, right? And all of these can happen on one page. If you've got a good landing page that's long form or that is a low investment decision, and you can get people converted all the way through on one page, but often it's going to happen on multiple pages on your website. Now, the great thing about landing pages, and I want to focus on that for a moment, is that landing pages are the best place to test your value proposition. Your interior pages and conversion pages are going to be more about the transactional end, about giving them information and then converting them and removing all barriers. But the landing pages are where you can find out what's your most powerful message to get across to your prospects to turn them into interested leads. So what I want to show you now is a framework that you can use to identify your most important value proposition points and then test them to find out what works best. It's called the DIP framework. Here's how it works. You've got three components you want to look at. You've got your prospects' desires. So this is what your prospects and customers are looking for, right? They need a solution to a problem, and that's why they're looking for your service or products. And then you've got your features. Your features probably don't line up exactly with all of your prospects' needs, right? You've developed a product, and it's never going to line up perfectly with all of your prospects. And then you've got competitors' features. And of course, they're going to have differences from you as well and have some different matchups. A lot of times, people are focusing on this area in the middle, the points of parity. This is the P in the DIP framework. And your points of parity are where the prospect's desires match up with your competitors' features. So your competitors also offer that, and your features offer that as well. So what you're doing is going out there and saying, hey, we have those features too. We're meeting your needs. We're doing what you want, and yeah, our competitors are too, but so are we. And that's where a lot of marketers are focused. Whereas the green field, or the blue ocean, or whatever analogy you want to call it, is where your points of difference happen. These are your pods. And this is where your features match up with your prospects' desires, but your competitors aren't playing there yet. You've been able to find a unique angle that gives you a unique value. This is your unique value proposition. And then there's also another huge segment that a lot of people are focused on, especially companies that are sometimes engineering focused, the points of irrelevance, where your features don't match what your competitors have, and they don't match what your prospects needs, but the engineers have spent a heck of a lot of time developing these features, and they're really proud of them, so you want to promote them. And that's a bad place to focus as well, of course. So where you want to end up is looking at what are these points of difference, and you can workshop this and outline what are all the features and benefits and perceived elements of our products and service that are valuable to prospects, and which ones are the competitors not touching. Now you can go in there and test different approaches to find out what do people actually respond to, right? And often you can give the same offer, and by testing just the emphasis, what do you go out with first? What's the first message on the landing page? Just by testing that emphasis, you can make a significant improvement in conversion rate. We had an example for EA where we tested the same offer in different ways, just emphasizing different aspects of the offer actually ended up doubling their game registration conversion rate. Just by, and what they found is that the types of offers within their overall offer, the more tangible they made them, the more they increased their conversion rate. And by reducing the amount of choice, they actually increase conversions. So let's take a look at another example here. This is an interesting one where, and the reason I showed this is it's a dramatic value proposition test on a landing page. So this was a test for cytropin. This is a human growth hormone spray where you spray this in your mouth, and you get some energy and vitality and other benefits. And they had a lot of people coming into this landing page searching for human growth hormone. Okay, so it's a very targeted landing page. Their competitors were really focused on the value proposition about product purity, and cytropin could have focused there as well. But we also knew that shoppers were worried about product effectiveness and some FUD in the industry about whether this stuff actually works, right? So in this case, we actually took two dramatically different approaches to target different value proposition angles. Variation A was an emotive approach, the aspirational approach, where we had emotional copy, right? The emphasizing the benefits of the product and really creating that emotive appeal. Variation B was handling the FUD, and what it did is positioned it as a medical, credible product. So with design cues from the pharmaceutical industry and reducing sort of the aspirational marketing type of approach. So, of course, as always, the question is which one won. This was an A/B test with a dramatic redesign to find out which approach of value proposition would get the best results. So what do you think won? Was it A, the emotive approach, aspirational, or B, with the FUD reduction, with a credible medical-based approach? All right, so we've got, wow, an 80-20 split exactly for credibility. And yeah, and that, and what another thing to consider here, and this is a really interesting result, is these are two variations that you could never multivariate your way towards, right? These are two dramatically different approaches that really require the whole page to be redesigned to match this approach. And this is where the power of A/B testing is much more important than than multivariate testing in a lot of cases. Is multivariate testing will get you towards what's called the local maxima, where you can iterate and continue to improve on a page, but there may be an even better idea just a little bit away that you have to really clean the slate and try something new to get toward. So anyway, let's get to the real result here and find out what happened. You voted 80% for credibility. Well, it turns out that in this case, emotive worked better. 49% sales lift. Now, that's 49% lift in people taking out their credit cards and buying the product. Okay, and you may remember now from that example not too many slides ago that for a hair club, that emotive approach wasn't the best approach necessarily. And in this case, it is. Different target audience, for one thing, and different sales copy, different context. It turns out that in this case, the emotive approach for this target audience was the best one. They really want to buy that promise of the fountain of youth, and worked just great for them. And now the owners, I think, spend the majority of their time in the Swiss Alps and just enjoying life. So with that 49% sales lift.